There you are. David just checked in while we were on a little break, and somehow we've goofed up the phone. So you'll have to speak up because
I'll,
it's
I'll
a
yell at
little
you.
hard to hear you.
So sorry. I don't know
Okay.
what's happened. Okay, so one question from Stephanie Linville of High Point, North Carolina. What is your idea of a perfect vacation?
You know what? A perfect vacation. I think I've had a few of them. Um, uh, but for several years in a row, we went to the Chatham Bars Inn. That's in Chatham, Connecticut. Am I saying it right?
I think so.
But it was just, I love the East Coast. I love the beaches there. I love the people there. And my kids were small enough that they were glad to be with me, and whatever I wanted to do was fun. And they wanted to go watch the parade, and they liked to go to the beach, and you know, and yet they were mature enough that they behaved themselves in the dining room and didn't annoy people, and it was those were some of my favorite times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. One question we had from Kathy Highland, and I look at you and I think of it's appropriate from Louisville, Kentucky. She has a hair question. She's decided to stop dyeing her hair and go naturally gray. She likes the way it looks in the front, but the back. Do you have any recommendations of how to blend it and to go into the gray? And you've definitely done that, and it looks great on you. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Wow, Kathy. It's first of all, everybody is going through this. This is the number one question on hair color blogs, and because nature um, grays you in the front for a reason. They do it. It does it. Nature, being as smart as she is, does it so that it softens all your features. And the back, what features are in the back of your head? We don't care. But I know it creates a problem. I was talking to Caroline today because of a number of reasons about hair things. But if you're anywhere near a place that sells Rue rinse, Roux, yeah, it's a washout rinse. Um, we used it. I worked in a beauty shop when I was in high school, and learned a lot of these things, and that will solve a lot of problems. So find yourself some rinse. Um, Secondly, find yourself a really good hairdresser who can, at least the first time, give you a blended look, so that she lightens the crown at least, so the front of your bangs start to graduate into the back of your darker hair. And she doesn't have to do it often. It once or twice would do it. But boy, feeling your pain, we all know it. And talk to your hairdresser. Do that because they're dealing with it every day.
Yeah. Well, you've done it very gracefully. I really like
I'm
the
sorry, what?
you've done it very graceful,
Why? Thank you.
gracefully. Yes, you look great. This is a fun question. Cheyenne from Los Angeles, actually. Would you ever consider a tell-all book?
Would I consider a tell-all book?
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm just not that interesting. My kids have asked me to write down my early life before they knew me, and I've thought maybe I would do that. Um, but David was over for supper last night, and I something struck me as funny, and I told him a story about when I was first in Los Angeles, and we sat here and laughed so hard we were both crying because he never gets to hear that stuff, and he's such a good audience that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but yeah, a tell-all. No, I have no interest in a tell-all, and I have no interest in people that would write a tell-all, because that's capitalizing on your the respect you've been shown by friends and family, and maybe even work people, by sharing intimate details of their lives, and that's not your place to show. Just, gosh, I sound so kind of highfalutin. Um, no, I would not write a tell-all book
I can understand that.
unless I got an offer. Just kidding.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. So first, this is a question from South Africa, from Durban, South Africa. So let's just start there. The global impact that Days of Our Lives has is pretty incredible. So Tashri asked, how do you manage your time between work and family?
I manage my time between work and family, I think, extraordinarily well. My children, as you know, are grown and sharing an apartment together. So uh, they're here as often as they want to be here. Um, and I see them quite often. Work, I've been working for 45 years. I mean, that isn't mastery. That's just, oh, I got the rhythm of it now. So family always comes first. If I have events that are important or anything that's critical, I go to our unit manager and have that conversation. But it really hasn't happened very often.
Yeah.
Hey, Leigh, I just got a jury summons.
Did you?
I'll send it over. Just kidding.
This
Yeah.
is hysterical. Oh my goodness. One question that is comes up a lot is what was it like growing up in Florida and making the move out to California at such a young age?
Growing up in California was, well, I grew up in a fairly small town many, many, many years ago. And that was dreamy.
Mm.
That was you know, a place where you know your neighbors, and if you get scared or you get in trouble or if there's a crisis, you walk across the street, you walk next door, um, and so there's such a feeling of comfort of I don't have the words, but I loved that. I liked walking to school. I liked meeting my friends and walking to school together, and obviously having a twin sister to do all of that with made it even more special. Um, uh, Small town is just, I think, is so healthy, you
Mm.
know, and people might disagree with people knowing too much of your business. I live in LA now, where I actually know my neighbors only because I made an effort to do that. Um, but I like growing up in a small town; it made me feel very embraced.
Yeah, it's wonderful.